People with dull life, inadequately paid, strugglers all their life.
Somebody who's absent-minded and wears thick glasses.
Like Eddie Murphy in The Nutty Professor.
Someone who is unusual, lives in his own world and keeps himself secluded.
So they think that scientists are someone with shabby clothes and thick glasses, and they work in a small, dingy, isolated place, which is not true. I mean, my friends find it hard to believe that, we're also as much fun as they are, and we go for movies, we have parties, we have fun, and we do science, which is fun.
It's not only about physical appearances. People often think scientists are boring and geeky. They can't associate science with creativity, but I don't think that's true. In fact, to quote C.V. Raman, science is the highest form of creative art, in which man, inspired by nature, just like a painter or a poet, is trying to understand nature's complexities through his own medium of thoughts. So I guess the process may be different, but it is all about creativity.
As a scientist, I have my interests in science and I have my interests in everything else that goes on in the world. I like sports. I cycle into work. I've done everything that any energetic young fellow would have done, swimming and sailing and climbing rocks and things like that. And this is just part of living a full life. And I don't think that going into science reduces that in any way. If anything, you learn to appreciate things, you see things from new angles, in addition to doing all of these nice things.
I understand why people are scared of maths. Maths is not just about these long calculations and complicated formulae. For me, mathematics is a language for logic.
Curiosity is one of the most basic skills to pursue science. I think we've all been curious as kids. I think research in science is just a natural extension of that curiosity.
I think science gives us the primary tools to understand and predict everything around us. Everything from environment to human behavior.
You know how it was with studies, you either got it or you didn't get it, and maths is something that I didn't have to struggle with as much. And maybe towards the end of school it was visually appealing. There was geometry, there were things called proofs which sort of a lot of other subjects didn't offer. There were answers to your why. After a while it just becomes like a craze to explore.
The excitement of science, the magnificent uncertainty of science is to do with looking for patterns of facts that will lead you to conceptual patterns. There are patterns of facts that are trivial because they don't lead you to conceptual patterns, and there are patterns of fact, little combinations of events that suddenly say to you, hey, this is how it all works. And that's a discovery.
If you're trying to find out something new in a technically challenging field, you will end up doing a lot of engineering along with the discovery. So you have to build things, you have to figure out how to make things work in the experiments. And of course, the most fun part is when you find out things that you weren't actually looking for. And often those are the best discoveries.
Somewhere in those 12 years of schooling, a student has lost his or her capacity to think quietly, which is very essential for research, but for which you need time. You need time to make mistakes, you need time to understand why you have made a mistake, and you need time to understand how you can rectify that mistake. And the pressure of the current system, which is so exam-based and which is so competitive exam-based, doesn't give you the time for that. So the problem is multi-dimensional. You need to attack it on all fronts. But definitely we need to encourage more hands-on learning, encourage the children to do more lab work. You also need to get the rural children interested in science. They are interested, but you need to capitalize on that interest and make that interest translate into something useful.
Great people say that science education is certainly not to train a child to recognize the question then produce desired answers. It is to train him to understand basic scientific principles and apply them in a new situation. When I was a child, still I remember, morning one teacher used to come with a chalk piece in his hand. He used to say, suppose this is a test tube. Afternoon, another teacher used to bring a chalk piece and keeping in a horizontal manner. Suppose this is a magnet. We used to wonder, the same chalk piece, it was a test tube in the morning and became magnet in the evening. So that should not happen to our rural children. Let them handle some equipment. That is our main thrust.
One of the reasons I think students don't come into science is a general lack of awareness of career options for students who pursue science at the school level. I'm sure if students are aware of how much exciting work there is to be done in these areas, they would definitely opt for this. Having said that, I also believe that there is a need for more institutes that are dedicated to research.
The four of us are fundamentally scientists. We work in computer science. With that academic expertise, when you come to biology, biology is full of difficult problems. So we have expertise in solving problems, solving them effectively. You take it and apply it to biology. You could take it and apply it to pollution management. You can take it and apply it to, agriculture. But the foundation is solving problems well and efficiently.
Always this has been this idea among students and parents that mathematics is not a well-paying job. This was probably true some years ago, but now it's no longer true. The companies are looking for solidly trained mathematical students who can then help them in analyzing data and also in developing new concepts. Some of these jobs pay much more than what a regular IT job would pay, and more importantly, these jobs are intellectually more challenging. So you get both the money and the job satisfaction.
India is going to be one of the 3 or 4 leading countries of the world in the 21st century. And knowledge is the principal driver of growth, leadership, and developing the future ambitions of this country. And without science and mathematics, having that knowledge competence to become one of the leaders and to be taken seriously will be hugely disadvantaged.
We have so little PhDs in this country for the size of problems that you have to solve, and in every area we need thousands more of PhDs, and all of them will be gainfully employed. They can start their own ventures to solve problems and become very successful doing what they really want to do and enjoy doing. Okay? That opportunity, I think this is kind of the right time to be young, to be studying and to learn and to grow.
If you look at the solution which is going to come for energy, it isn't going to come from policy, it isn't going to come from some kind of law curbing emissions, curbing usage and so on. It will come from a technological advance. Now, where is that technological advance going to come from unless people do research?
There is this kind of phobia generated by, say, parents, society and the system about students taking up or deciding to take up, say, science or mathematics. And I think the only solution is that we have to change the attitude. So instead of our teachers asking us, why maths or why science, I think it should be why not maths or why not science.
Do you want to know why
things happen the way they do?
Come join us in the quest.